none of us can escape mi'ad. We cannot escape by command of Allah through the Prophet mentioned and revealed to him and present in the Quran, the love of Muhammad and al-Muhammad. None of us can escape it because it is a debt we owe the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So how do we come along and how do we come about repaying the Prophet, returning this debt to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? One of the big masadiq, one of the big representations, one of the big avenues where we gather together and we tell the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yes, we are your lovers. We are the lovers of Ali ibn Abi Talib. We are the lovers of Al-Zahra. We love your Hassan. We love your Hussein. And we wait for that grandson of Al-Hussein, Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman, Ajalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif, through this majalis, through the ziyarah that you go to, through the matam that you do, through the alams that you take out, through the tabuts that you are with, through the dhul-jinas that you have. We did not see the dhul-jinah, we did not see the horse of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, but we symbolize it so the children see that this is how we remember Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. This is something similar to the alam of Abu al-Fadl. These are someone similar to the companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. We remember, we get together and we talk about this. One of the riwayat mentioned in the books and quoted by many ulama is the dhikr of Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. Please recite the salawat. There comes a time upon the heavens. In the heavens, because we understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has angels we cannot count, we cannot comprehend. Angels beyond our imagination, the number of them, the size of them, what they do, their functions, how they behave, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells them to do. Yes? And those angels, they come and they frequent this world. They leave the heavens by command of Allah, they come to this earth and they go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there's a transfer of angels. Everyone with their responsibilities, everyone with their jobs, everyone with the tasks identified. But this riwayah talks about a set of particular angels. A group of angels returns back to the heavens and they go back to where the other angels are. And the group or the set of angels that is already in the heavens says, he says, you have a very distinct smell, as if perfumed. You smell like something we haven't smelt before. We see a light in you that was not present within you before you went to this earth. Where did you go? He said, when we went to this earth, we went to a gathering where the lovers of Ali ibn Abi Talib were gathered, and they were making the dhikr of the fada'il of Ali ibn Abi Talib. They were talking about the musibah of Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salatu wasalam. It is in their presence where we're sitting, and now that we return, you smell this smell, and you feel their presence, and you see the nur illuminating us through the dhikr of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, because of the lovers Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam gathered and made dhikr and talked about Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. Ya Ali, may Allah protect you, may Allah give you a long life, may Allah give you tawfiqat. May you always be at the door of Muhammad and al-Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. May you always benefit from the door of Muhammad and al-Muhammad. May you never be muhtaj, may you never be destitute where you need help and go to door after door after door. There is only one door, the door of Muhammad and al-Muhammad. May you always be a servant and subject of that door. Please recite the salawat. I've been asked to mention this. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. May Allah increase the tawfiqat of those present here. But my sisters who are also attending and also present here, I was asked to please keep it down. And those sisters who've left home to come here to listen to Majlis Aza, and this is why I mentioned this particular hadith, because in this time and age, it is very easy for us to switch on our phones or switch on our TV, plug on YouTube, the link is there available, and you listen to the Majlis. There is a thawab, there is an athar. But to gather here in a place of worship where Hussein alayhi salatu salam is mentioned, with the mu'mineen Imam Hussein alayhi salatu salam, that has a different level, that has a different ajr, it has an effect on you. Where you sit alone in your house and you listen to majalis, there is benefit. It gives you nur. You shed a tear, the mother of Zahra salam, the mother of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu salam is happy with you. But when the mu'mineen leave home, dressed in black, they walk out of their houses, their children dressed in black, and they walk over to their cars and they come here and people see them gathering over here, the question arises, who are these people? Where do they go? What is happening inside this building? This doesn't happen when you're home. See, the paygam, the message of Hussein, as told to us by Sayyidah Zainab salamullahi alayha, salli ala Muhammad wa ala. It is to wake up humanity. It is to shake every person in action, in words, however we can. Even the symbolism, even our presence, even our being, to show them that we are the Husseini in these days. And through our actions and our intentions throughout the year, when you leave home and you come here, there's a barakah. That one person who turns around and asks, who is this person? Where are they going? Why do they cry? Who is Hussein? You've done your job as a muballigh, and you've made Zainab's part, Salamullah alayha's job, much easier. Do you understand? Imam Sadiq, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam says in a hadith, and he does not talk to only ulama and fuqaha and mujtahideen and ayatullah al-uzma. There is only one ayatullah al-uzma, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. Everybody else is an ayat of Allah, like everybody else. But ayatullah al-uzma is only one, Ali ibn Abi Talib, that is it. Please say the salawat. The Imam talks to each and every one of us. The Imam speaks and he says in this hadith, Kunu du'atan lana. All of you present, all of you listening to what I'm saying right now, this hadith from Imam Sadiq, and I act as a messenger. So you hear this hadith, he says, be a da'i. You know how other sections have, dawa karne gaye hain, dawat dene gaye hain, da'i hain. They've gone for tabligh. Their da'i is towards religion, towards Islam. Imam Sadiq says, be a da'i towards us. Kunu du'atan lana, towards us. If I ask you to go propagate the message of Hussein, what do? Right now, for a child, mathalan, he would open up a blog, write a few words. He would go on Facebook, share a few links. He would go on Twitter, write a post, for instance. He'd tell his friends, yes, this is how you make tabligh. The Imam's asking us, Kunu du'atan lana, go and make tabligh for us. Tell people about us. But he puts a clause. The Imam alayhi salatu wasalam puts a clause and he says, Kunu du'atan lana bighayri alsinatikum. Invite people towards us, but do not use your tongue. Invite people towards us, but do not use your tongue. What does the Imam mean? Your character should show. Your character should show. Your behavior should show that this one, it belongs to everybody else, but this one belongs to Ali and only Ali. We do not bow to anyone. We do not respond to anyone. We do not listen to no tyrants. We are from the household, and we only love the household of Ali ibn Abi Talib because we have Abbas as a role model and as a guide. Our children learn loyalty from Qasim and Aun and Muhammad. Our children have no other role models. Who do they look up to? Do you find anyone more loyal than Abul Fadl Abbas? Do you find any more child who's ready to sacrifice his life for his uncle and his imam other than Aun Muhammad and Qasim? Do you find any other child as patient as Sukaina or Ruqayya and the other children in the camps of Imam Hussein anywhere in history? No. So these are the role models present to us. Imam says, do tabligh, tell people about us, spread the message, let them know the truth. Because everybody inherently, everybody on a base level, everybody by design is looking for truth. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants the hereafter. Everybody wants to live happy in this world, happy in the next world. We, Muhammad and Al Muhammad, we have the answers to that sa'ada. We have the answers how you connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll tell you what success is. We'll tell you what happiness is. Let us to define this for you. Allah increase in the tawfiqat of the parents who raise children where they're sitting in front of me right now. May the love of Hussein, may the love of the children of Hussein, may the love of the ancestors of Hussein settle in this heart and live in this heart and flow in their blood. And then transfer on to the children that are to come so they may be shafa'ah for you on the day of judgment. When majority of the people are turning away from a Zahra because they're embarrassed, you can look at a Zahra salamul alayhi and said, I've done my part. I have played my part. My son knows Hussein. My son knows Sukaina. My daughter knows Sukaina. We know who Abul Fadl is. We know who Zainab is. It is by your barakah, but I've done my part. You're not embarrassed on the day when all faces are embarrassed. And she will thank you on that day like she thanks you today. On that day, she will thank you like she thanks you today. Kuna du'atan lana. Be inviting people to us, but do not use your tongues. Let your character shine. Let your actions shine. In knowledge, you're the best. When you're a friend, you're the best of friends. When you make good friends, you're the best of friends with those good friends. When you make problematic friends, it's good not to be good friends with a problematic person. May Allah give us the tawfiq that our children, ye thahir sakta hai. Please say the salawat.
Nara Takbir. Nara Takbir.
आपको ज़हमत हुई माज़रत ज़हमत हुई आपको.
Nara Risalat. Nara Risalat. Nara Hadari. Bismillah जनाब. अल्लाह तुझे सलामती दे.
तमाम मोमिन मोमिनात को अल्लाह सेहत और सलामती दे. To those who come here, to those who attend here, to those who here to listen to the Musifa of Aba Abdullah alayhi salatu salam. May Allah protect the organizers and give them more tawfiq to organize better programs, inshallah, bigger programs where people have an opportunity to sit and connect with their Imam through these majalis. Because truth be told, me, subjectively speaking, me as a person, I have nothing to offer except that I spend a few years in the hawza, at the door of the Ahlul Bayt. Whatever I have, whatever good that I have is an amana that they give to me so I can give it to you, I deposit to you. I hold it in trust, it belongs to you. Come here, come to the manabir, go to the books, go to Quran, go to the ziyarat. Because the Ahlul Bayt ﷺ have everything you need to be successful in this world and in the hereafter. Anybody who claims to have the answers and is not connected to the door of the Ahlul Bayt ﷺ is wasting your time. Some people will listen and some people learn hard ways. You can go out and experiment and look for answers and see who has answers for sa'ada of this dunya and sa'ada of this answer, akhirah. You know why? You know why Ali ibn Abi Talib is the best person to tell you what is victory and what is success, what is good for you? If I was to ask a child here sitting, may Allah bless their parents, Allah give them a long life and tawfiqat. If I was to ask a child in another place, another setting, and I ask him, he says, and I speak in a language that my children would, who's a winner? Who do you call as a winner? Right? This boy's already smiling, he knows. Who's a winner? Who do you call successful? Big cars, many mansions, big account. Oh, this was my time. Twitter following, Instagram following, how many likes, how many shares? This man's successful, yeah? This man is successful. He's got celebrity status. He's someone everybody follows. He's someone everybody looks up to. This is success. This is winning. Because you're only looking at one aspect of their life. You're only looking at one aspect of their life. If someone is successful as an athlete, you're only seeing that aspect of his life where he's an athlete. How he behaves at home, you don't know. What his personal life is, you don't know. What kind of person he is, you don't know. This is how you define success. How do you define success? This is how myself and yourself would define success. We look at an aspect, we say this man is winning, and you say this man's a winner. Ali ibn Abi Talib defines success differently. You know how Ali ibn Abi Talib defines success? When the Mawla is in the Mihrab, and the Mawla is in sujood, and the Mal'oon strikes the Amir on his head. The Amir raises his head and he says, Fuztu wa Rabbil Kaaba. By the Lord of the Kaaba, Ali is successful. This is fawz. This is najah. This is falah. This is winning. Ali is winning. Because Ali is a winner. Because he sees success, not how me and you see success. Remember the talk we had 2 nights ago where I said they exist in a paradigm different from us because they see reality for what it is. How we see the world and how we perceive the world, and how they see the world and how they perceive the world is 2 different things. Because we learned from the Ma'lul. We looked at creation and we identified the Creator. They learned Allah from Allah, through Allah, directly by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There was no medium, there's no intermediary. So now when Ali defines things in life, he tells you how they are. When you ask Ali ibn Abi Talib, he says, what success? You are the Khalifatul Muslimin. You have the biggest and strongest position you hold in the Muslim empire, and you're struck in mihrab. And now you're about to die in 2-3 days. What fawz and what winning are you talking about? Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam. Because he knows what I perceive to be winning and losing and what Ali ibn Abi Talib perceives to be winning and losing is 2 separate things. It's 2 different things. They define life differently. Change our definitions will change how we look and we see the world. If we go to other people and how they define things, their knowledge is limited to what the aql can give. Their knowledge is limited to what the intellect has to offer. But Ali is connected to the intellect, the ultimate intellect, and something beyond the intellect, which is the wahi. Which is the wahi. In Ghar Hira, in the Ghar where the Prophet used to go, and the revelation would come, Ali was the only person who would be with the Prophet. Find me another person who has this fadila that he shares with Ali ibn Abi Talib. Everywhere the Prophet went, Imam Ali says, I was with the Prophet like a baby camel would be with the mother. Everywhere where the Prophet meant, I went with the Prophet. Can any other person claim this except for the Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam? Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, wa salamat rakhe. Nobody can claim this, nobody can make this claim. But they'd wish Ali would stop talking now. Ali says, I slept in his bed, Shab-e Hijra. Anybody of you sleep in his bed, Shab-e Hijra? No. I married his daughter. He gave me Fatima. The one daughter that the Prophet would stand for in respect. The one daughter he would kiss her hands. Her most prized possession. The gift Allah gave the Prophet when everybody would call the Prophet Abtar. Allah says, Inna ataynaka al-kawthar, fasalli li rabbika wanhar, inna shani'aka huwa al-abtar, az-zahra. The best of blessings He gave me. You know the maqam and the status of az-Zahra, salamullah alayha? I just say one thing and I'd move on right now. We have in tradition, every time the Prophet would go and pass by the house of az-Zahra, he would stop and say, Assalamu alaikum ya ahla bayt an-nubuwah. Peace be upon you, O household of the Prophet. He could have said, Assalamu alaikum, O the daughter of Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, O my daughter. He says, no, Assalamu alaikum, O household of prophethood. Now do you understand when I say this, when Az-Zahra salamullah alayha would enter and the Prophet would stand up in respect, this is not a father standing up for her daughter. This is a risala. This is prophethood standing up for Isma, which is Az-Zahra salamullah alayha. ये सिर्फ एक रसूल एक बाप खड़ा नहीं और अपनी बेटी के एहतराम में, ये रिसालत क़याम कर रही है ज़हरा के एहतमाम में. ये जो यहाँ पे क़याम हो रहा है रसूल अल्लाह का, where the Prophet stands for his daughter. This is not Muhammad the person, Muhammad the father. This is prophethood in its entirety. When Muhammad stands up for Zahra, Nuh stands up for Zahra, Ibrahim stands up for Zahra, Musa stands up for Zahra, Isa stands up for Zahra. All of creation, it is wajib upon them, because Muhammad stood up for Zahra, you stand up for Zahra. Understand the station of the Ahlul Bayt. Know the maqam of the Ahlul Bayt. You see this viral video, this went viral a few days ago. I think it was in Shahr Ramadan. This imam in the mihrab of the masjid, he's reciting salat, and there's a cat on his shoulder. You've seen that? Many people have seen this. There's an imam in the masjid. It is a good act he did. There's a cat on his shoulder. Billi nazar aa gayi, Rasul ka nawasa nazar nahi aaya aapko. You saw the cat on the shoulder of this imam, but you don't see the Hussein on the shoulders of that imam, the ultimate imam, the imam of this world, the imam of the next world, the imam of all worlds, Muhammad al-Mustafa. वो अब बिल्ली वायरल हो रही है सर, ऐसे ही ना बिल्ली वायरल हो गई, वो हुसैन आपको नजर नहीं आ रहे, आप मुहर्रम में शादियां कर रहे हैं, आपको हुसैन नजर नहीं आ रहे. राकिब दोश नबी हुसैन, you don't see him. The riwayah talks about Hussein. The Prophet would intentionally go to each and every alley in Medina with Hussein on his shoulders. This one, I love him. Ya ayyuhan nas, no. Oh people, listen, no, I love this boy. That boy you don't see. बिल्ली वायरल हो गई सरकार, जुल्म नहीं है. सलवात भेज दो मोहम्मद वालों को. Where do you learn? Who teaches you these things? Who sets your priorities for you? Who's telling you who to follow? Who's telling you what not to follow? Have wrong leaders, go to different places. This is where you end up. There is only one city of knowledge that has only one door, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu salam. Take your deen from somewhere else and see how far you end up. Go to other doors. La ikrah fi deen. Go to other doors. See where you end up. If the mubahila was a sign, it was an enough sign that this is me, this is my Ahlul Bayt. Anybody who comes against them, la'natullahi alayhim. This is me, this is my Ahlul Bayt. Anybody who's not with us, la'natullahi alayhim. नसरानी समझ गए थे, उनको समझ में आ गया था. They understood कि नहीं भाई, लानत नहीं चाहिए. लेकिन हैं कुछ ऐसे अफराद जिनको चाहिए, तो लो फिर, तुम पे भी लानत, जो तुम्हें लेके आया उस पे भी लानत, तुम्हारे पीरों पे भी लानत. सलवात भेज दो मोहम्मद वालों को. If this is me talking, this is my personal, I present to you the Quran. It's open. This is the Mubahila. There's Ayatul Ghadir. This is the Ayatul Mawadda. There's an Ayatul Wilaya. Which Quran are you reading? Which Quran are you reading? And they tell us we have a different Quran. And then there's so many questions asked. Oh, why do you do this? Why do we do that? Why do we do certain thing? No, I won't answer any more questions. We won't answer any more questions. You answer the question, why did you leave the door of Ali ibn Abi Talib? Why anybody but Ali? Why do you not learn from Hassan? Why was there only 72 with Hussein ibn Ali? Why? Where was the rest of the Muslimin? Where was the rest of the Ummah? Why was Hussein alone in Karbala? Why is Hussein writing letters to Habib? Tonight we'll talk about Habib the Madahir. We'll talk about John. Why is Hussein forced to write a letter to Habib in Kufa, and the letter starts, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Assalamu alaikum min Hussein al-Gharib. Why have you brought the grandson of the Prophet to a point? Oh, the Shias called him and the Shias killed him. Ye kaun hai sare? Ye kaun baithe hai yahan pe? If the Shias called him and the Shias killed him in Kufa, ठीक है, आप लोग साथ दे देते. If the Shias called him, the Shias killed him, what was the rest of the Muslims doing? You ask our children that and you keep asking questions. At a point, at the end, the child will say, Lakum dinakum waliya deen. Hamara deen, ek deen hai. You know which deen? I'll come to that deen. Lakum dinakum waliya deen. Your deen for you, our deen for us. Which deen? People can say, oh, when you read history, you'll see there's many tribes in Quraysh. One of them is Banu Hashim. Yes? Many tribes in Quraysh. One of them is Banu Hashim. They have custody of the Kaaba. Oh, there was because their position, this is what people would say. If their position is weakening, that's why they said, you know what, let's have a prophet, let's bring a religion, and let's make Islam. So we become prominent. And these were the things that were said. Let us use religion to gain prominence in society so the Bani Hashim can come up. Okay, we won't accept it, but we'll say, okay, let's consider this hypothetically. Muhammad came, sallallahu alayhi wa ali, he propagated a religion, he told you about Tawheed, he told you about Furu'at, Aqaid, theology and all those things, and he lived his life and he went, the celebrated Prophet, sallallahu alayhi wa ali, yes. And then we say Ali ibn Abi Talib came. People came before him, there were conquests, but Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam came. Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam came, and you say, you know what, Ali was a warrior. Ali is from this is the mindset. Again, al-ayadu billah min dhalik. Ali was a warrior. Ali had a warrior mindset. He liked to fight because he was good at it. So that's why Islam was good for Ali ibn Abi Talib, so he kept the Islam. So this is all personal. This was all personal for them, right? But my question to everyone is, so you say the Prophet had something to gain from this? You say Imam Ali had something to gain from this? You say Hassan has many things to gain from this because they make so many tuhmat? I ask you, on the day of Ashura, when Hussein ibn Ali, after watching all of his family and friends killed, holding Ali ibn Asghar in his hands like that, what does Hussein have to gain on that day when he says, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah? Hussein will not step back, even a single step. Because if Hussein is to step back, this is not happening. No takbir is happening, no azan is happening, no namaz is happening, no tawaf is happening, no Allah, no Muhammad, nothing. He holds his child in his hands like that, and he says, Hussein will not step back. Hussein will not step back. What does Hussein have to gain on that day? If nothing shows you the truth of Islam, that one lahda, that one moment will show you that Hussein puts everything. What does Hussein have to gain? Except for the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It says, تَرَقْتُ الْخَلْقَ طُرًّا لِهَوَاكَ. Hussein has left world and the creation for you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't want this life. This life has nothing to give me. خَلَقْتُ الْخَلْقَ طُرًّا. I have left creation for your face, O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Hussein has given everything for Allah, and everything we know to be right and true and correct is because of Hussein, now you understand the shi'r when he says, Shah asked Hussein, Badishah asked Hussein, Deen asked Hussein, Dipana asked Hussein. Hussein is Deen. Hussein is Deen. Listen very carefully. Anyone have any questions, come to me, please. I'll be sat in that office and ask me. My question to all of you, Samahat Sayyid was sitting here right now, and he said many things, many beautiful things. And he pointed out to one point, which I wanted to say it, Alhamdulillah, ta'id bhi ho gayi hai, kyunki ye baat mujhe karna thi. Of the 72 people who were in Karbala with Imam Hussein, 72, that number that we know famously, of the companions of Imam Hussein, how many of those companions were mujtahideen? How many of those companions were mujtahideen? How many were ulama? Bhai, we have narration stories telling us, accounts of the day of Karbala telling us, a man showed up on the plain of Karbala. The morning was not even a Muslim, died in Hussein's lap. एक ज़ोहर असर के अलावा कोई नमाज पढ़ी उसने ज़िंदगी में? भाई 2 रकत में हुसैन का यार हो गया वो. 2 रकत में आज तक अलैहिस्सलाम है वो. ज़िंदगी में नमाज नहीं पढ़ी उसने, सिर्फ हुसैन का चेहरा देखा, कहा ये हक पर है, वो बातिल पर है, मैं इसके साथ अपनी जान दे दूंगा. ज़िंदगी में हमने जितनी नमाजें पढ़ी उसने वो भी नहीं पढ़ी. सुबह हुसैन को देखा था, असर के वक्त उसने ये फैसला किया कि मरूंगा तो इसी के साथ मरूंगा. राइट? कितने मुज्तहिदीन थे? हाउ मेनी मुज्तहिदीन? ये ऐसे लोग थे, चाहने वाले थे, आशिक थे सारे हुसैन के पास. इसलिए तो हम कहते हैं लैतना कुन्ना माकुम नफूज़ा माकुम, है काश हम आपके साथ होते, हम भी जीतते. क्यों जीतते हैं? क्यों नहीं जीतते? कहने वाला, people who make ishkal on this, he says, when you say ya laytana kunna ma'akum la nafuza ma'akum, or you don't say this because you don't know, maybe when the test is real, You don't know how you behave. No, I've seen azadar. I've seen azadar in Parachinar. I've seen azadars in Afghanistan. When you leave home, you don't know you come back or not. You don't know if you'll be bombed or killed. Mothers preparing the children to go where? To Hussein. You prepare your children to go to Hussein alayhi salam. I've seen those azadar. Bacche bomb phatta hai Karachi mein. At the azadar gathering, and people pass away and they die and become shuhada. I've seen the mother is like, I lost one. Had I lost the other one, it'd be easier to meet a Zahra tomorrow. I've seen mothers like that. Had I lost my other child, it'd be easier to see a Zahra tomorrow as well. So let us to say, Ya laytana kunna ma'akum nafuza ma'akum. Oh, I wish we were with you, O lovers of Aba Abdullah alayhi salatu wasalam. We'd win with you, like you won, like your companions won. We want to be with you. We'd win with you. So my question, how many mujtahideen with Hussein? How many fuqaha with Hussein? How many muhaqqiqeen with Hussein? It was his lovers. Ashiqon ki tori thi sarkar. It was a group of lovers who loved Hussein, who loved his father, who loved his grandfather, who loved Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the accounts you read of the maqtal, everything you've heard, MashaAllah se aapne kal bataya ki aapki age MashaAllah, Khuda aapki tawfiqat mein izafa kare. All the majalis you've heard in your life. My question is this: have anybody told you in any account that when one of the ashab of Imam Hussein was passing away, Imam said, "Oh, put your feet towards the Qibla. Kalma sunao marne wale ho. Kalma sunao marne wale ho, tumhari jaan ja rahi hai." Kyun? Why? Ye furuat kahan gayi sari? Why? Because the one who is dying in the lap of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam knows full well this Hussein, he is Tawheed, he is Kalima, he is La ilaha illallah, he is Muhammadur Rasulullah. Sara deen bhi hai, sara iman bhi hai, aqibat bhi hai, yahi hai, najat bhi hai. Salawat. Ye Zat Hussein ibn Ali jo hai, ye Nuh ki kashti hai. This is najat. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala desired. This is the Hussein. This is haq. Iske alawa sab batil is sar. Kuch hai nahi duniya mein. There's nothing else in this world except for this beautiful face. So when they would leave this world, they would make wasiyah to each other. One of those companions, two companions like to mention of Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. You see what Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam does. قُلْ لَا أَسَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. I ask you for nothing except that you love for the Ahlul Bayt. Why? Because the prophetic mission, the prophetic job, the prophetic duty is to elevate human beings from where we are in the base world, where we are in this world of darkness, to grab us by the arms and throw us to the heavens. Throw us so high in the heavens that when this lover of Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam, he goes to the heavens and he flies at those heights, the angels cannot fly at that height. The angels look up to him. It's like, what did you do, Abul Fadl, that we wish we could fly as high as you do in the heavens? This is from the riwayah, this is from the ziyarah. Abul Fadl will have wings, he'll fly in the heavens so high that the angels will want to fly with him, but they can't take flight. Nobody can take flight with Abul Fadl Abbas because of his station as maqam. So this is the risala and this is the job of the Prophet. And Imam Hussein continues this. You know how? He will give you a value, a status, a maqam, a station in this world and obviously in the hereafter. How? Go back to the Arabic mindset. If you don't understand, go back to the Arabic mindset, the Arab mindset at that time where Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam went to Karbala. Go back to the mindset. How would they treat a ghulam? A ghulam, a slave, had no value. He had no life. He was not accounted for. When you said, oh, I lost, let's say when an Arab at that time would say, okay, I lost such and such, he would not even value for it. A slave had no value. He had no value. He was not accounted for. They lost and they were bought and they were sold. And people behaved with them how they behaved. And they treated them worse than animals. This was the Arab mindset. And now this is how they treat a slave. And now look at their treatment, which is racial, which is racism against a black person. I will tell you the Arabic mindset against a black person. This is how they behave. The slave, so you're not civil society, you're not civil, you're barbaric. One negative point. And the other negative point is you're black. The Arabs would have a problem with black people. The Arabs of Zaman Jahiliyyah, the time of Imam Hussein, they had a problem with black people. They were very racist. They were very racist. Anyone who's not them, the other, they were racist towards. So the slave would not have possession, the slave would not have property, the slave would not have family, the slave would have no social standing. He would have nothing to his name, except for that he's identified, oh, he's a slave in that household. Yes? And a black person he's far away from home. He was a native, most of them were brought from other places to be sold in this market of Arabia, yes? You know what Hussein did? You know what Hussein did? When Imam Ali told John to go be with Abu Dhar al-Ghafari, John, the slave, Imam Ali told him, go and be with Abu Dhar al-Ghafari. Go and help him. When Abu Dhar al-Ghafari passed away, you're a slave. Go. You're free now. Your master is dead. Leave. Go live your life. He comes back to Ali ibn Abi Talib. He says, because nothing is sweeter than the slavery of Ali ibn Abi Talib. To be a subject for Ali ibn Abi Talib, there's nothing better in this world. What would I want? Where do I go? Where do I go? So John comes with Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu salam to Karbala. John is one of those companions of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salatu salam who comes to Karbala. Understand the mindset, and this is how I use those words and those mindset. A black slave. The Arabs did not like it. You know how the Arabs used to fight? When the battles would happen, when they would have skirmishes, when a war was to start, they would have hand-to-hand single combat. So 3 people from this side, 3 people from the other side, and they would fight. And they're very proud. They say, no, only people jo hamare barabar hain, who share the same status as us. We're from a noble family, as they perceive. They should be from noble family, and then we fight. This is how they would perceive this. And then imagine, on the day of Ashura, from the camps of Hussein, a black slave perceived comes out. And Hussein is the one helping him, getting him on his horse. And the Hussein is the one bidding him farewell. And the Hussein is the one, Hussein alayhi salatu salam, with utmost respect. You had no status, you had no society, nothing. John had nothing. Right now, if you read the Ziyarat of the Shuhada, John's name is specially mentioned in the Ziyarat of the Shuhada. He lives for and ever with the Shuhada of Karbala. He's buried with the children and the brothers of Hussein in the safe grave. Tell me anyone who can elevate your status like Hussein can. Show me one who can elevate the status of a nobody in that time perceived, to where every time I go for ziyarah, I recite my Maula ziyarah, I recite Abul Fadl ziyarah, I give salam to John. This is where Imam Hussein brought John. Here. Assalamu alaikum ya shuhada Karbala. John is included. The person, the army of Yazid would never look at his face. They would not look at him. He comes up and he says, Imam, please let me go. Imam, please let me go and fight. He says, no, John. You know how difficult it is for Hussein ibn Ali? You know how difficult it is for your Mawla? Any person who comes to you and is with you for his love, for your love, someone comes to Hussein and he says, I love you. Imam Hussein says, okay, thank you. And then he says, please let me go and die for you. Do you know how heavy that is to tell someone, go ahead. I know you won't come back. It is heavy. It is heavy for people to send someone to die for your own self. With every person who went to Karbala, Hussein also died a little. With every sword you struck on John, Hussein got struck. With every stone you threw at Ali Akbar, you threw a stone at Hussein ibn Ali. How much will you test Hussein ibn Ali? How much will you make him cry? How much pain do you want to give Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib? What has Hussein done to you? What has Hussein asked of you? He's only asked you, says, become human beings, say la ilaha illallah, worship Allah and become successful. And this is how you do the Ajr Risala. You throw stones and rocks at Hussein ibn Ali. Those who realize the value of Hussein knew the value of Hussein. He would come to the Mawla, he would come to the Imam and say, Sayyid, I cannot live and the people attack you, please give me ijaza, please give me rukhsa, please let me go to the battlefield and fight on your behalf. The Imam says, no, John. There's many reasons why the Imam could have said no, John. So that tomorrow these Banu Umayyah do not come and say, oh, Hussein brought slaves to fight with us. No, 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 no. Hussein is Abul Ahrar. Hussein is the Lord of the free men. Hussein does not bring slaves to fight for them. People choose to become Hussein's slaves and then fight for Hussein. It's a difference. There's a difference there. It came to a point where John said something, and it's recorded in history, it's mentioned in the Maqatil. He says something very interesting and strange. It says, do you not want to send me because I'm black? You know what's funny? What's interesting here? John knew exactly who Hussein was, but he knew this would also trigger him in a manner. Like, John, you know better than this. You know who Hussein is. Do not say this. He says, are you not sending him because you don't want to mix our blood with your blood? He said, no, John, this is not the case. This is not Hussein is. Only now when this happens and they have this conversation, Hussein says, you're free, John. Please head to the battlefield. And George goes and he fights. And the Shair he mentioned, he says, how does it feel that the Mawla has sent a black slave to fight you people? How does it make you feel now? But I am a free lover of Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. I choose to be his slave. And I will fight and live with him. When John was told by Imam Hussein, leave, go, you're free, don't have to stay here. He says, when it was good times I was with you. How can I leave you when the son of Zahra is alone in the plains of Karbala? How can John now leave that the son of Hussein, the son of Zahra salamu alayha, is alone in the plain of Karbala? This is not humanity. This is not love. This is not brotherhood. It cannot be that Hussein dies and John lives. It cannot be. So he fights and he fights. And the Maqtal narrates, there comes a time where John falls from his... When John is struck and he's about to die, the Sayyid of al-Arab, Sayyid al-Shuhada alayhi salam, goes to the slave. I'm telling you, I'm narrating this from their side, their perspective, how they see. They see Hussein, the son of Zahra, the son of Ali, run from the camp towards the slave's body, towards this black person's body. But Imam Hussein lifts his head, puts it on his lap. He says, thank you very much, John. You helped the son of Zahra when nobody was ready to help the son of Zahra. You came to my assistance when nobody wanted to come to my assistance. Abiyadallah wajhak. No, may Allah illuminate you, John. May you be free, John, always be free. Hussein thanks you. The mother of Hussein thanks you. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون رضا بقضائه وتسليما لأمره حاتم حسين.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم ومن الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما الله أكبر الله أكبر